seeker. Welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. How's it going, friends? My name is Talia Joy. Welcome to my cozy corner of the internet. Grab a beanbag chair, pull up a meditation pillow or a blankie or whatever you're sporting today. Grab your favorite beverage, lean in. We're going to dive in. I'm so very excited that you are here. If you're new to the show, if this is one of the first times you're tuning in, I am so grateful that our paths have crossed. It is for a reason, and I'm so excited you're here. So on this show, we talk about all things in the awakening journey, manifesting everything you're here for journey, developing your intuition, really hacking the system to be able to live a life that lights you up from the inside, one that is soul aligned, one that is exactly what you need, with the freedom, the abundance, the connection, the fulfillment, the vitality, the health. I got your back. This is everything that we talk about on this show. So today we are breaking down in the theme of daily practices. So the previous episode on this show was all about creating a daily practice that sticks, the why behind it. We talked about the masculine and feminine aspects of having a daily practice that really works. And then if you're a member of On the Path, which is my private podcast, you can check out the link below. This week, we are diving deeper into the daily practice builder, how I recommend exactly creating a daily practice that lights you up. I'm offering a new breath work that's over again on my other podcast called On the Path, which is a private subscription community where we really look at integrating the work. So we're really breaking down the tangibles. I'm also doing deep dive episodes on things like how to navigate triggers, deeper connection with your body, clearing your energy, manifestation, and so much more. So that's On the Path. At the time of recording, it's only $27 a month, and it will truly keep you on the path, moving forward toward your manifestations, working through things, and really just staying in the self-growth. So that's, again, called On the Path. So this week, at the time of recording, we're diving deeper into tangibly creating a daily practice that really works. So I wanted to talk about creating a daily practice and 9 different daily practices that you can do as a soulpreneur to really move your business forward. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you have a business that feels like it's led from your heart, it's led from your soul, you're here to help people, you're balancing the journey of being a light worker and a healer with having a tangible business. First of all, hello, hi, I understand that journey. You're not alone. Today's episode is really going to help you. I'm going to give you 9 practices that I do. I'm going to break them down, and I know that there'll at least be a few that you're going to take away. It's going to help boost your productivity, help boost your magnetism, and really help your overall well-being as a soulpreneur, as an entrepreneur, because it is a journey. That being said, if you are an entrepreneur, we have the Soulpreneur Mastermind starting really soon, starting within a couple days of when this episode is dropping. And it has morphed and changed into 14 days of mini practices plus support in the live round that is going to move your business forward, because we are committed to doing business radically different. We're committed to doing business in a way that lights you up, that serves people on a higher level, and most of all, nurtures and nourishes your life rather than being a stress or an energy drain. We're actually creating a business that fills you up while serving people, impacting the world, creating freedom and abundance. And it's just, we really need to bring it all together. So in this 14-day Soulpreneur Mastermind experience, we're going into the strategy, we're going into branding, your ideal client, social media strategy, that type of thing. And we're also balancing it with the who are you being? Who are you as a leader? What is your medicine? Really clarifying what you're here to do with the world and helping you to make it a tangible thing that is that is profitable, that makes an impact, that is growing. It's just going to be so fun. So check that out down below. It's called the Soulpreneur Mastermind, and I cannot wait to dive into your business and really help you move forward. So why, I didn't mean to get onto that tangent. But all of this is revolving around, as a soulpreneur, you need to take care of yourself, and you need to make it part of your rhythm and part of your routine. Because if you're like me, it's really easy to get distracted or to get really wrapped up in like the visuals or the graphics of a sales page. Meanwhile, there's other things that are more pressing that you need to do, or it's easy to neglect yourself, to not look after yourself in the journey of having a business. I really, really understand that one, and it will hold you back from making the impact, from having the magnetism and really speaking in your potent medicine. It first comes from you. It first comes from you looking after you. So let's start to dive into these daily practices. Some of them are really tangible and strategy based. Some are more energetic, looking after you style, like I'm mentioning, but these are all things that are really important in my day and in my week. So I'm going to offer these daily practices. And of course, it's not about doing every single one every day. In fact, they're not even sort of chronological over the day. I'm starting with a morning one and ending with an evening one, but everything in between is like, you may want to include this over the week. You may want to, consider putting this in every day, but it's for you to kind of move with and flow with, depending on your business, depending on your days. So the first one I want to start out with is a morning intention setting ritual. And this can be so simple, but every single day when I come into my office, I set the intention. And I think in my mind, like, what do I have going on today? So maybe I've got 4 clients on voice memo, I've got an interview, and I'm working on emails for an upcoming workshop. So I'll think about, what is my intention for the day? And it might be to like serve my clients at the highest level, to get out a potent podcast interview. So even before the interview, I'm setting intentions, but let's just go one at a time. So starting off in the morning, setting clear intentions for your day. And maybe today you have a ton of stuff to do. So it's like, my intention is to smash everything on my list, to do it all really well and get it all done by the end of the day, while also taking breaks to, get up and move around or something like that. So setting clear intentions of what you need to do today, and or what the overall intention is for today. So your intention can even be, my intention is to welcome in unexpected abundance. Maybe a payment comes in that you weren't even really trying for, or maybe it's to fill 2 spots in an upcoming program, or maybe your intention today is to just work behind the scenes of your business and get some things aligned and delete some files or clean up, behind the scenes. Whatever it is, getting really clear on what you want to accomplish today. And then I like to bring in future casting into the morning ritual. So this is something we're going to get deeper into in the Soulpreneur Mastermind, but talking about future casting your success. So basically, the one exercise I will give you is, at the end of your day, how do you want to feel successful? So when you start thinking about that, at the end of the day, I want to be proud and like in awe that I brought in unexpected income. I want to feel accomplished in that I moved my program forward closer to launch. Or all day I was in high energy, I served my clients great, and that makes me feel really successful. So at the end of the day, I want to look back and go, wow, you really showed up for your clients. We really moved the needle forward in their lives and in their businesses. Good job, me, right? So really thinking about that future casting of the success. What do you want success to look like at the end of the day? So what are your intentions for the day, and how do you want to feel successful at the end of your day? Number 2 is sacred self-care breaks. So this is one I definitely recommend doing every single day, because even if it's 5 minutes to clear your mind, to do some breath work, or to take a moment outside with low stimulation, or maybe it's a longer, like you put yoga in your lunch break or whatever else. Thinking about sacred self-care breaks. Don't let yourself go more than a couple of hours maximum without getting up and just stretching out your shoulders if you sit at a desk, or just giving your brain a break from, being in calls or interviews or with clients or whatever it is that you're doing. Make sure to take little self-care breaks where you actually break from the business. So I'm not saying go outside and sit at a picnic table and then get on your phone and continue making posts. Like, actually take a break. I see you. I know you because I am you. So I know what that's like. Like, I'm going to take a break. And like, ooh, this would be a great post. Like, actually take a break, even if it's just for 5 minutes. which leads me to the third one, which is consumption breaks. So this is also a break from consuming information, consuming content, just consuming in general, even reading or listening to a podcast, even if it's beneficial, even if it's helpful, taking breaks where your brain stops consuming. When we stop to take breaks, our brain goes to different places. And this is where ideas can drop in. This is where inspiration hits us. It's also where our brain comes to its own conclusion. Like, you know what I could do for this launch, or you know what I could do with this client. Meanwhile, when you're when you're in consuming mode, your brain isn't looking for solutions to things. So taking little breaks where you just don't consume anything. Maybe it's when you're making your lunch and eating your lunch. Just don't be in consumption mode. Put down your phone, even put down the book, and just be and see where your mind goes. This really amplifies your productivity when you're back into work. It really, as I said, allows ideas to land. It also aids and amplifies your all over magnetism. It's because you're not going to be as drained. You're not going to be as worn out. You're not going to be as fatigued and overstimulated. You're going to be more grounded and more, even. So that's really going to help you manifest and also just help you in your business as a leader, as a healer, as a light worker. Okay, so the fourth one that I want to talk about is focus. It's kind of the opposite of the consumption break, focused learning/student time. So this doesn't have to be every day. I actually have weeks over my month. So over a full month, let's say a month is 4 weeks. One of those weeks, I call it student week. And I actually go back into courses I've taken, re-listening to trainings. Maybe there's a certain podcast that I always learn a lot from, and I actually go into student time. But it's focused student time. I say for the next hour, and I sit down with my laptop, not 100,000 tabs up, or if it's on my phone, I'll put it on a little tripod and I'll sit with my notebook, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not taking on 100 million things. So in your business, there are times that you will need to learn about things. Like, how do I set up Stripe? Or maybe you're looking to scale your digital courses to sell it from hundreds to thousands, or wherever you're at. There are times to learn different platforms, learn different techniques even, or whatever else. So give yourself that. Be a student. You need to be the type of mentor or leader that is also a student. We need to be a student like we want our clients to be a student, and invest that money and time into yourself like you're asking your clients to do. So when you're in focused learning time, go into student mode and you're like, ooh, and you soak everything up. And as I say, I usually first and foremost go back to all the beautiful courses that I've bought, the trainings I already have. So sometimes if I'm feeling maybe like my money habits are getting more sloppy or something, I'll go back to a specific course I can think of in my mind's eye that was like a money energy boot camp. And I go back and I listen to some of her trainings and I'm like, oh yeah, right. The money calendar. And I go back, right? Go back over those things, or maybe it is YouTube or, like I said, podcasts or whatever, but having focused learning time where you're doing nothing else and really just do like half an hour or an hour. It doesn't have to be all this time, but make it focused. The fifth exercise or daily practice is actually having CEO time, which is again something I do in more of a weekly thing, but you can slip it into your day. Sometimes when I find there's a lot of random things going on, maybe my assistant is, sending me messages going like this thing's going wrong or this link or something where, okay, there's enough business stuff. I turn everything else off and I go into CEO time. But I want to say not just damage control behind the scenes, but also bigger picture. So the way that I spend a week focused on being a student, I also spend a week in CEO badass energy. So the second week of the month will be CEO time. And this is where we are more looking at the business as a separate entity. And we're handling, yes, the administrative stuff or whatever, finances, making decisions, but we're also looking at our business as a business. And we are going, okay, business. It's not me. It's not personal. It's a separate entity. Where are the holes? Where are the leaks? Where are we not profitable? What's not working? Where am I spending a ton of energy on something that is either getting no traction or I'm not making any money from it, or it's not even like really impacting people? It's kind of like, where are the holes? look at the business, put on your CEO hat, and start looking at where maybe there's payments that you don't need to be paying for, or maybe it's places where you really need some help and it's time to double down and just invest in yourself. CEO hat, not personal, it's the business. We need to make a business that thrives, separate from us thriving. It is one, but they're also two, if you know what I mean. So putting on specific little practices or CEO time. And if it is something you want to do every day, like you touch base with the structure, the business, having that blocked focused time. Or if like me, maybe you want to do a week, a month where you're like really diving in and being like, okay, I need to clean up this onboarding way. This system doesn't make sense. I don't even have a way for people to pay me here. My website needs help. It's really just like working on the actual business. Okay, number 6 is taking energy breaks. So I said self-care breaks originally, right? A couple, like number 2. Now we're talking about taking energy breaks in the day. So this is actually more about refueling your energy, boosting your energy, replenishing your energy so you don't kind of get into like ho-hum, right? So even if I have a full day writing, something that I love to do, and I'm like, okay, 8 hours or 10 hours, like yes, I take breaks to boost my energy because sometimes we can get into like a bit of a slump and it can, so for an energy break, sometimes it has to do with food, like refueling ourselves, grab some fruit, grab some cold water with some ice or something that kind of refreshes you. Also taking a few breaths. I like to get up and just have a dance party. It's like one of my favorite things to do. Maybe you could plug into Source, doing some breath work or a quick meditation that really boosts you. So something where you are nourishing yourself, you're re-energizing yourself throughout your day. So for me, a self-care break, it can be a different energy than an energy break, if that makes sense. So a self-care break could be like, okay, I go outside, I sit on the deck, I clear my mind, I spend 20 minutes just breathing and listening to the birds, and that's like my break in the day. But then after that, I might go jump on my rebounder, put on a song, dance my butt off, and then get back to work. So these energy boosts really help to boost your magnetism, really help to boost your inspiration, and make sure that you're not fatiguing and dipping. And, a marathon runner doesn't stay running all the time. They literally run for a short amount of time, or maybe even like a sprinter runs for a short amount of time, and then they're resting. We don't need to be going all the time, and we do need to replenish our energy as we go. So practicing short energy revitalizing practices to get your energy boosted up there. I'm going to give you a few in the Soulpreneur Mastermind, like actual tracks where you can press play, boost your energy, and then get back to it. It's so powerful. Okay, so we have just a couple more. The next practice I want to talk about is getting your energy right before posting or creating content or doing an interview. So this is where the energy breaks really come in great. And I usually do this as a way to get my energy right. So I want to say that everything you post, everything you put out there, an email, whether it's text or it's a video or whatever it is, it has your energy behind it. So you need to get your energy right before you're posting. If you're trying to sell spots in a program, and you come to an email with desperate, selly energy, people are going to feel that. But if you go out for a walk, if you bounce around, if you put on a song, if you do some breath work, if you get into good energy, all of a sudden your email is much more like, I'm so excited for this program and this is what you're going to get, and like, get your butt in there. And it's just more you, it's more engaging, it's more magnetic. You are going to sell more when you get your energy right before you post, before you write emails, before you go live, before you hop into sessions. I have a strict policy where I get my energy right at the beginning of every day because I do a lot of voice memo work with my clients. So I'm literally starting to check in at 9 a.m. being like, how's it going? We continue working on the things we're working on. I'm getting messages from them. If I don't get my energy right, they're going to feel it. I can't bring any irritation or stress from my day into that space. or they're going to feel it and they're not going to get the magic that they signed up for, that they're investing in. But even behind every single post is you, is your energy. So if you really don't feel good, don't force out a post, because people will feel that too. It's almost like not worth it to just put something out there just to put it out there. It's going to feel off. So get your energy right. This isn't like a solid, this is what you do, but just in general, I want you to be thinking about always having little practices that you do before you post, because people feel it. Okay, so just two more. Toward the end of the day, I want to say this to you, productivity buffs, also those of you who have an endless mental list going and it doesn't let you rest. At the end of every work day, for me, when I leave my office, I have a clear break, and then I personally go into mom mode because I have 3 kids, husband, it's usually dinner time or getting close to that. So I'm jumping in, and I'm going into that. Some of you, that's not your lifestyle, you have other things, but when you're done your work day, when you leave your office, when you shut down your laptop, when you decide you're done, write a list for tomorrow's you. So I literally say, hey, me, because it's tomorrow's me. And I write down all the stuff, anything I didn't get finished, anything that I'm like, remember that you paused that email and you have to finish it tomorrow and unpause it, or whatever's going on. I write it all down. Anything tomorrow's me needs to know. I usually end it with like, you're awesome, smash your day, a little love note to myself. But then I can actually let it go, which comes into the last practice I want to talk about, but I'm not going to go there yet. So at the end of the day, reflect on what else is left, what did you not get done, what needs to carry over to tomorrow, what does tomorrow's you need to remember. Sometimes even like, because I was just mentioning I do voice memo support, sometimes I work with someone on a Monday and a Tuesday, and at the end of Monday, I get inspiration still, and I'm like, oh yeah, remember to tell Susie tomorrow we need to go into this area because today we just ran out of time. We're focusing on other things. So whether it's for you behind the scenes as a mentor, as a coach, or it's the literal to-dos, like remember to pay your bills tomorrow, or remember tomorrow's, payday for your team, or, whatever it is, ask for payment from a client tomorrow, write it down. And then that comes into the very last one, which is, for the love of Jeebus, take your night off. Unless you're a night owl, unless that's when you have to work, choose to work, want to work, leave your office and put it down. Give yourself time off. Give yourself space from your business. Give yourself the gift of being with your kids, with your dog, with your spouse, with a funny show, with more evening meditation, with yoga, making a cup of tea, winding down your day. Give yourself the time off. Give yourself the time to recharge. And if something hits you in the night where you're like, oh my goodness, I need to make a post about this, just write it down. Write it on that tomorrow's use list or a note in your phone that you designate to that, or a tiny little notebook. Just write it down and go, but right now I'm off. So thank you, Source, for the idea. You're like laying on the couch and all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, I want to talk about how self-care is so important or something like that. Write it down and say, just tomorrow I will. Give yourself that evening off because again, we need time to recharge. So as I wrap up this episode, I hope that you notice that in our days, we need a mix of strategy, physical, tangible, masculine energy, the to-dos. And then we also need the taking care of ourselves, replenishing, being with our own energy, filling our own cup, the feminine energy, because we in some ways are our business. If we are frazzled, if we are depleted, if we are, in constant go, 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 you will not be able to sustain what business requires of you. And no matter where you are in your business, whether it's at the very beginning or you're 10 years deep like me, you need to be right now the type of success that you want. So if you're always saying, when I make more money, I'll take time off, or when I make more money, I'll only work from 8 to 4, or when I can, I'll do it this and this way, that won't work. You will never do it if you're not willing to do it now. So set up your business now, whether you're at the beginning or you're knee deep, with boundaries, with built-in you time, and that will explode your business more than you think. It's crazy because the type of business we're in, people are drawn to us. They can't always explain it. Yes, they like our strategies and our tools, but we have medicine to offer. And if we're not looking after ourselves, we're not offering that full medicine. And if you don't start a business with built-in days off, with built-in lunch breaks, with built-in self-care days, with built-in time to be a student as well as the CEO, then you're not going to do it later. And also, we kind of look at it like, well, I'll just frazzle myself to success and then I'll take the time to myself. And it just won't happen. It's just not the way energy works. It's important to do that now. Build in the type of schedule that you want now. Build in the type of freedom that you need now in your day. Look after yourself, set intentions, close your day. Whether you're making $20,000 a year or $20,000 a day or more, you still need to look after yourself. It's still the same formula behind the scenes. It's just that the dollars change or the offers change or, business decisions change, but you still have to be the one to look after yourself on this journey. And I will root for you to do that for all of my days, because success is the energetics plus a simple strategy. And that creates the pure magnetism, the impact, the abundance, everything you're meant for. So I can't wait to hear how these daily practices impact your life, which ones you're going to take on. Come follow me on Instagram if you're not already over there in the community at Talia Joy Manifestation. I'd love if you reached out. Let me know how you enjoyed this. If there's any that hit you, if there's any you're going to take on, I'm so excited to support you. And I can't wait to see you as well in the Soulpreneur Mastermind. Grab one of the last spots below and I'll see you there. Okay, take care, Seeker. I'll see you in the next episode. Hey, thank you for listening to this episode. It truly means a lot, and I really, really hope that it served you. I invite you to check out the show notes. There's all sorts of action down there, including the Awakening Her daily practice, which is a beautiful daily practice to process your emotions and manifest what it is that you want. In the show notes, you'll also find the Awakening Her Manifesting Apparel store, how to reach me on Instagram and Facebook, as well as some one-to-one opportunities. So make sure to check that out, and I'll see you in the next episode.